4 and more, looking for a set of weights and some music in the background if you prefer. We will run through a few circuits. We'll throw in some cardio to get that heart rate going and a lot of work down on the mat, 1 move per circuit, and then the final circuit will be mostly down on the mat. Shoes are optional, but if you're holding weights, of course, it's always handy to have shoes on, a little extra protection for the feet. So let's go ahead and get started. Finding our feet about hips distance apart. We're going to take a big circle with the arm way overhead, lifting those ribs. Hands will come down on the hips back, a tuck around, and a slow roll up to standing, drawing in through the navel, just moving through that spine and finishing with the shoulder roll at the top. We'll do that one more time. Big inhale, big circle, big lift. Hands on the hips back, tuck round, and slowly roll all the way up. Shoulders are going to roll back again. We're going to start with some good morning. So hip hinging, just reaching that chest forward, keeping the legs mainly straight, finding our hamstrings, pressing into the heels, squeezing the glutes and the abdominals as we stand straight. So just kind of like you're bowing down and then standing tall, finding the back of our thighs, just moving into those hamstrings. We'll do 3 more. This one will be last one. So let's take the right leg out to the side into a side lunge. We're going to draw those hips back, making sure that our knee is aligned over our ankle and not forward over the toe. We're going to take a big push, come back into center. We're going to do 9 out here on the right. Hips back, press off, stand tall. Good, working through that inner thigh, hamstring. We're going to take 1 more on this side, and then we're going to switch sides. Hold the first one. So step out with that left leg, draw those hips way back, feel the inner thigh, the hamstring, let it all loose. On the exhale, pushing into the heels, stand tall. Let's do 9 more. Good. Continue to push those hips back. Next one's going to be the last one. Good. And in the center, we're going to take a high knee. So we're going to take that right knee all the way up towards the ceiling. Toes are up as well, so not pointed, but flex. We'll alternate sides. As we do, we lock up through the belly. Getting those legs as high as we can, so not looking for speed as much as we're looking for height. As we continue to warm up with these high knee march, let's start to add a little rotation for the waist, turning our chest towards whichever knee is lifting. Let's continue, but start to take our legs a little wider, pulling out through the side of the hip. Good, about 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Let's leave those legs wide. We're going to turn the toes out just slightly. Fingertips can go behind the ears, or you can take a goalpost stance, okay, with wide arms. We're going to sink down into a wide squat, and using the outside of our waist, we're going to bend through the side waist, pull in through the belly, come to center. We're going to alternate sides. Good, so working our obliques, the side of our waist. Option here, lifting a leg, okay? A wide sumo squat, lifting the leg, an option. It'll bring that heart rate up a little bit higher. If it throws off your form and you start rolling forward, skip the leg lift. Good, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Good, we'll release, we'll bring those hands down, step the legs together. We're going to take a curtsy lunge. So hips come back, we'll start right leg. It goes behind to the side, okay, behind and to the side. We drop into the hip, Press up to stand tall. Right leg, continue. Behind and to the side. So looking for the hip and the glute. Option, a little more challenging for balance, would be to extend that right leg out to the side when you come forward. For about 10 seconds. Three, two, this next one, last one, this side. Release, reset, coming into the other leg. So left leg comes way behind. Shift that weight back to center. We can stay with just the curtsy or add that side leg lift. Good, lots of control to control that momentum, which all comes through that core. That's time for about 2 more. Last one. Good. Let's go ahead and pick up our weights. Let's squat to do it, especially if that heart rate comes up. All righty. So single leg deadlift, okay? Single leg deadlift. We're going to allow the weights to hang out in front, opening the chest. We'll take our right toes behind, okay? Right toes behind. It's a hip hinge. We'll allow the weights to pull us forward till our torso and leg are parallel to the floor. And then driving the heel into the floor, we stand tall. Inhale as we hip hinge. Exhale as we stand tall. Good, continue. We're working those hamstrings. The next one is going to be the last one on this leg. We'll stand tall, shift the weight. Start with the toes behind. Here we go. Hip hinge. Bring it in. But using a focal point out in front of you will help you with your balance. Try not to look straight down. Want to keep our neck in neutral. Time for 2 more. Next one is last one. Good, releasing in the center. Shrug out those shoulders and the leg. We're going to take a side lunge with a row. Side lunge with a row. So we'll start right leg. We'll step out to the side, hips back. We'll take a row, elbows back, shoulders down. Bring it into center. Okay, right leg. Here we go. Okay. So drive into that glute by using your heel. One more this side. Let's go right into the other side. Good, those elbows pulling straight back. Time for one more. Good, back into center. Let's squat down, put those weights back, roll out the shoulders, and come in with the curtsy with the option of the leg lift. Hips are back, right leg starts, comes behind. Just a regular curtsy. Option of adding that side leg lift. And if you're feeling really balanced today, you can take the arms as well. One more this side. Good, we'll release. Let's set up on the other side, regular curtsy. Option with that side leg lift. Maybe adding arms. Good job controlling that momentum. Take one more. Good, releasing. Our sumo side crunch. So we're taking wide, toes a little turned out, focusing on obliques, zipping up through the pelvis, finding our arms behind the head or goal pose, using those obliques, pulling those ribs and hips together, alternating sides. Option, leg lift. Yes.
And as the bass keep pounding on me, baby, I really want to make you mine. I don't really care about love. I don't really care about happy ever after.
5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Go release. Shake off those shoulders, single leg deadlift. Squatting to pick up those weights. Finding our hip hinge with the weights out in front. Navel stays tight as we reach forward with the chest. Getting parallel to the floor, then standing tall. Keep going. We have time for one more on this leg, nice and slow. Really focus on the control through the core. We'll release at the top, reset the posture into our athletic stance. Take the other leg behind, get tall. On the inhale, hip hinge. Exhale, stand tall. Next one, super slow. Good. We'll release. We'll roll it out. We're going to look for our side lunge with our row. Right leg will start. We'll step out to the side. We'll find our row. Bring it back to the center. Let's alternate. Left leg steps out. Row and center. Good. Put that pressure in the heel. Activating the glute. We're going to take one more each side. Good, we'll release. Let's hip hinge, we'll put our weights down. All right, a little bit of a hop. So we're going to take our athletic stance, pulled in a nice flat back. We have options here, okay? So low impact would be like a little hopping step, okay? High impact. Take a nice side to side or lateral hop. We're going to do this for about 30 seconds, and you can work at your own pace. We're bringing up the heart rate to blast those calories. Good. Nice soft landing. Allow the hips to drive back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Kick it out. Take a little break. Drink if you want it, and then we'll go into our next step. All right. We're going to use bicep curls here. So picking up your weights. We'll find our feet hips distance. Arms are just going to hang at our side. We're going to do a hammer curl with a squat. Okay? So as we come down, our hips go back. Pause down here. Make sure the belly is tight and that our knees are no more past our middle of our foot. Okay? Then we stand tall. So here we go. Sit. Good, one more. We'll release, we'll roll out those shoulders. Just one weight, okay, goes forward or goes down onto the floor. We're gonna keep one. We'll put that weight at our chest, at our shoulders. We'll find our athletic stance. We're gonna take our right leg back into a lunge, and we're gonna add a rotation, turning our chest towards the left. Inhale, center. Step together. So step back lunge, exhale, rotate, come back through center. Good, continuing with our reverse lunge with rotation. That weight staying located right in front of the chest, no shoulder work here. Good, let's switch legs. Same movement, but rotate towards the right. Get a nice steady reverse lunge. We have time for two more. Last one. Good. We'll release. All right, weight goes down. We're going to come into a mountain climber, okay? So whether you're using the mat or the floor, you can opt for elbows or an open palm. You could also use a fist or a wrist, planting the knuckles. Keep that navel tight as you set up your plank. And then when you're ready, start moving those knees by drawing the navel in, alternating knees. Come towards the elbows. Work at your own pace.
Just give your heart a chance to react. You've cried out your last tear, and not a single
Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down to those knees. Take a quick child's pose for a stretch and a breath. And then leaving your hips back, reach your hands as far forward as they can, which will not only lengthen the spine, but set you up for a perfect kneeling plank, which we're going to come into a push-up. So on the inhale, we're going to shift forward, lock that belly, little push-up, elbows go wide, draw the belly in as we come up. Option, come back into child pose in between each one of your push-ups. Otherwise, you can continue just working through the push-ups. Of course, to make it a little harder, instead of kneeling, tuck those toes under and go into full.
don't
Good, last 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hit your child's pose, wiggle out those fingers, roll out those wrists, and then slowly work your way up to standing so that we can resume with our squat and our bicep curl. We'll set up feet hips distance apart, shoulder blades back and down, hips will go back, elbows bend for our curl. Slow, controlled, staying tight to the core, and making sure our knees don't cave in or crash in towards one another. We're using those hips. Time for one more. Good, we're gonna get rid of one weight. We'll keep one. We'll put it at the chest. Hip distance, soft knees. This time we're gonna alternate with our reverse lunges. So start right leg back, rotate left, center. Left leg back, rotate right, center. So just continue to alternate, working at your own pace. Good, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll bring that to center. Getting rid of the weight, finding our mountain climber. Remember, open palms, fists, or forearms. Legs fully extended. Chest driving forward. Locking up those abdomens. Bringing alternate knees up under the body by driving that navel up towards the spine. About 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Find your child's pose. Take your stretch. Roll out fingers and wrists. And then from the child's pose, setting up for our push-up, hips are back, fingers reach as far away as they can, or at least shoulder width apart. On the inhale, shifting forward into that kneeling plank. Keeping chest open, shoulder blades back as we bend the elbow for our push-up. Option to come back into that child's pose between each push-up, or just to continue with our push-up. Yep. Five, 4, 3, 2. Let's bring it into our child's pose. Again, wiggle those fingers, roll out your wrists. And then slowly work your way up to standing. We'll reset that posture. We're going to put in a little bit of a cardio. This time we're going to jump rope. Okay, so jumping rope. Options. Just heels. Okay, so you don't have to leave the floor for impact. If you are going to do a full hop, lock in, sink a little deeper into the hips, okay? And find your jump rope there. Okay? Barely lifting those heels off. We're looking for calf. Push the rest of the body, supporting and evolve. Drive in the heart rate. Let's reverse the direction of our wrist. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take those legs out, get yourself a drink, take a breath. And we're going to go back to our very first circuit, which will begin with our curtsy and option side leg lift. Okay, so get your drink. Make sure your weights are out of your way. All right. Hips are back. Hands are going to start on those hips. Locked in and tight. Right leg will begin. Take our curtsy. It steps behind to the side. We press off to come to center. Option. Side leg lift. Good. Maybe arms. Just depends where that heart rate is. We want a slight shortness of breath, but we shouldn't be gasping for air. Good, time for one more of this leg. Good, coming back to the center, let's shift that body weight. Starting off, left leg comes behind. We begin with the curtsy. Option, side leg lift. Option, arms. Last one. Good, we'll release. We'll roll out those shoulders. Go into our wide plie here. Up and in. We're going to sink way down this time. Take arms wide, goalpost or behind the head, side of the rib cage. Exhale. Alternating sides. A little sumo side crunch. Keeping low in that squat. Really challenging those inner thighs. Put most of the weight in our heels. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Legs straighten, toes and heels to bring those legs all the way in. A single leg deadlift. Okay? If you think your hamstrings are going to be super sore, just get rid of the weight. Okay, just get rid of the weight. And we'll focus on that balance and that core stability. Right leg comes behind as we get tall. Inhale, hip hinge. Allow the weight to slide down towards the floor. Exhale, drive the heel in the floor. Stand up straight. Last one, this leg. Let's move slow and steady. And then we're going to switch to the other side. We'll correct the posture. The other leg goes behind. Nice and tall. Reaching the chest forward as we hip hinge. And then stand tall. Last time moving through this exercise. So make the most of each one. About 3 more. Next one will be your last. Good. Roll out those shoulders. All right, so we're going to look for a row, but instead of moving side to side, we're going to take the feet about hip distance, okay, about hip distance. We're going to put all our weight in our right leg. Left toes will reach behind as we row. So It's a reach behind, keeping those shoulder blades down and those elbows tucked back. And then bring the leg in as the weights come down, okay? The belly stays tight. Exhale, roll, reach behind. Yes. Good, switching legs, shift that body weight. Five, four, three, two, one. Good, we'll release. Let's take the legs to hip distance. Weights by our side. We're going to take our squat with our biceps curl. When you're ready, hips back, we curl and tall.
Yeah, her love can make a person hazy. Praying she won't break me down. Yeah. What are you doing to me now? You found a way to me somehow. Now you're all I ever dream about. Since I saw you, there's no easy way out. Hear me calling out to you.
5, 4. Last one. Good. Let's get rid of one weight. Keeping one. We're going to take the weight at the chest. Hips back. We're going to take a reverse lunge with a twist. Right leg goes back. Rotate left. Center. Left leg goes back. Rotate right. And center. Alternating sides. If there's like you're tired, we can just do a tap back instead of fully shifting the weight into the lunge. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Good, weight goes down. We're going to look for our mountain climber. Setting up with the hand position that works for you. Finding our plank. Locking the core. When you're ready, alternating knees underneath the body. Shoulders are stabilized and shoulder blades retracted. Neck is long. Top of the head reaching forward. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's find your child's pose. Extending through the spine, reaching through those arms. Big deep breath. Hands at least shoulder width apart. On the inhale, shifting forward into our kneeling plank. Good, setting up, opening the chest, driving the navel up. We find our push-up. Does not have to be big. Option, come back into the child's pose for the stretch. Or continuing to take push-ups. Listening to your body. We'd rather do fewer really good ones than a whole bunch that are just tiny little elbow bends. So 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release yourself into that extended child's pose. Take a couple of extra deep breaths here. Then we're going to turn ourselves over on our side. Okay, we're going to turn ourselves on our side. We're going to look for a side plank, which can be done on the elbow of the forearm, as opposed to the open arm. What we need to be extra mindful of is the shoulder and the neck so that we don't sink into the rib cage and allow those shoulders to come up towards the ear. We really want to extend through that neck and keep this rib cage, okay, lifted and elevated. We're going to leave the bottom knee down on the floor, aligning nice and long. We're contracting the abdominals to lift the hip up off of our mat, okay? We're going to elevate that top leg, okay? And extend through the top arm, pull the shoulder blade down, give the neck some space, okay? Give the neck some space. Option, stay here and hold, or on the exhale, bring knee towards elbow, extend, keep those rib cages up, okay? Exhale, pull in, inhale, extend. Good, keep the hip up. Last one. Good, release those hips all the way down. Swing your legs forward, and then you can shift or roll over onto the other side without losing sight of your screen. Sit at the elbow, create space for the neck. Bottom leg down, hips in alignment. Pull up through the belly button. Extend the arm, extend the leg. Option to hold here. Option 2, keeping the hips up, knee and elbow come together, and extend. Good, focus on the side of the waist as the knee and elbow come together. Couple more. Good. Lower the hips down. My goodness. Let's turn ourselves over onto our back. Okay, onto our back. We'll lie all the way down. Flatten out those shoulder blades on the mat. We're going to pick up our legs so that they're in a 90-degree angle, like we're sitting in a chair. And we're going to take fingertips on the side of our head, above our ears. Pulling, I mean really focusing on pulling like somebody's stepping on your navel. On the exhale, you drive that navel so hard to the mat that your shoulder blades just try to lift off of the mat and then release down. Okay? So exhale, drive the belly down, which is what lifts the shoulder blades to head. Option, doing both lower and upper. So as you drive the navel down, contracting those abdominals to get the hips to feel like they're lifting as well. Whatever we do, don't let the belly push up or pooch out. And we don't want to train it to pooch. That's the last thing we want to do. Five seconds. Next one, last one. We'll release. We're going to take hands underneath our hips. Hands underneath our hips for a little bit of leverage. All right. We're going to extend those legs. Draw the tail, the low back into the mat. We're going to lower straight legs down part way until we feel those abdominals have to contract to keep the back on the mat. And then pull the legs straight up. Okay. Inhale, lower. Exhale, pull up. Good. If this is a little too much, put one foot on the mat with the knee bent and just do one leg at a time. If you're doing one leg at a time, go ahead and switch. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring both knees into the chest. Give them a little hug. Fingertips go behind the head. We set up like we did before for our crunch, only this time we're going to come into a bicycle here. So right shoulder, left leg, and we're focusing on rotation through the waist. Okay. Come back to the center, off to the other side. So think more about reaching your shoulder or your armpit towards the opposite side of the body. That way you won't pull on the head. You can work at your own pace, rolling from one shoulder blade to the other. Go 5, 4, 3, 2, release. Allow that head come down. Give those knees a quick hug. We're going to release. Draw both legs up to the ceiling. Both arms up towards your ceiling. Relaxing your neck. Pulling your shoulder blades and your entire back down to the floor. Let's wiggle those right fingers and air tap the left toes, telling the brain those are the limbs that are going to move while the other two stay steady. On the inhale, that right arm, left leg lower. On the exhale, they pull back to center. Inhale, open. Exhale, center. The focus deep in the core to lift those limbs. The head is staying down, so the neck is relaxed the entire time. We have time for 2 more. Good, finishing up this side. We're going to leave all limbs up at the top. Reset, we're air tapping the right toes, wiggling the left fingers. On the inhale, left arm, right leg, extend. Exhale, pull them back up. Let's keep driving the navel down. Next one will be last one. We'll release. We'll bring both knees into the chest. Again, give them a nice big hug. All right, we're going to take reverse crunch. Arms by our side. Both legs reach up towards the ceiling, focusing on lower abdominals, so below the belly button. As we exhale, we extend the toes towards the ceiling, flexing the navel, maybe getting a little lift or a little rise out of the hips. Doesn't matter if it comes actually off the floor. The whole point is to keep the abs tight as we reach those feet to the ceiling, disallowing any of that pooching the belly. Make each move individual, so stop that momentum before you take the next one. About 5 seconds. Good, finishing up. Knee hug. Good. Arms go wide. Knees fall towards the right side of the room. We're going to turn our head to the left, turn our palms up, take a couple of deep breaths here. Really focusing on filling the belly with air here. We do want it to expand. And then as we exhale, emptying the belly all the way. We'll turn our palms down, head comes into center. We'll bring those knees close into the chest, give them a hug. And And then we're going to release the legs to the other side for a twist. On the other side, legs coming out to the left, head turning to the right to stretch out the neck. Arms extended wide with our palms up. We take a few really full breaths. Turn those palms down. Gently roll onto our back, bringing knees into the chest. Give them a big hug. We're going to take both feet onto the floor with our knees bent. Arms can rest by our side. On an inhale, scooping the hips up as we drive the navel down into the mat. The hips lift, we come into a bridge. We take a breath as we hold the bridge. And then starting between our shoulder blades, one vertebra at a time, we lower the spine. We're really looking for more of a stretch here and movement in between each vertebra. So keep folding into the navel, fold, 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 until we come all the way down. We're going to do that one more time. Pelvic tilt, scoop, press into the feet, lift the hips, pause, and then one vertebra at a time, continue to fold through the middle of the body. Try to isolate each vertebra. Then we'll bring those knees into the chest. Let's hold on underneath the knees, hold the hamstrings so that we can take a little rock, either forward and back, or maybe side to side, whichever feels better to you. We're going to work our way up to seated. If you're doing a front roll, make sure you tuck your chin very tightly to your chest on your way up. Let's turn ourselves over. And we're going to swing our right leg out to the side and then around front to stretch through our hip flexor. Allowing our body weight to lean forward, we feel the quadriceps and hip. If you want a little bit more quadricep stretch, and your knee will allow, you can flex that left foot. We'll release the foot. Let's shift back for a hamstring stretch. So we're just going to pull the tailbone, the body weight back. As we do, the right toes start to lift. And notice if we're rounded in the hips, we get a little less stretch. But as soon as we take the tailbone back and extend it, lengthening and flattening out the back, we get a deeper stretch. We're going to back off the stretch, slowly bending forward, taking the right leg out to the side, then behind, so that we can swing the left one around to the side and then out front for our hip flexor stretch. Option to flex the back foot, getting a little bit more quadriceps. Releasing, shifting back for our hamstrings. Letting those left toes lift. Pulling and drawing the tail back. Good. Releasing, coming back into the lunge so that we can take ourselves up to standing. Take your time on your way up. Slow tuck and a roll up will help extend through the spine. Allow the head to be the last thing up. We'll take a couple of big shoulder rolls. So we'll take our right hand, pat ourselves on the back. Left arm gives a little tricep stretch. Soften our knees. We're going to release. Switching sides. Releasing arms behind, interlacing fingers if you're able, pulling the shoulder blades together, drawing the hands down, and then giving them a little lift out behind us, opening the chest. On the exhale, let's forward fold, allowing those hands, to reach forward, head just to hang. We're going to lower the hands to the buttocks and then bring them underneath for ragdoll, grabbing opposite elbows and bending the knees deeply so that we can get a little sway, going with the arms, with the head, letting the back relax, the neck. We'll release hold of the elbows. And again, one vertebra at a time, tucking that tailbone, drawing the navel in. We roll up to standing. Head again, the last thing that will come to the top. We're going to take our right ear over to the shoulder. Maybe extend through the left arm for a deeper neck stretch. We'll release. Same thing, other side. Nice big neck stretch. We'll release and center. Soften our knees like we started. Just take a big inhale and circle those arms all the way up. Hands release, they come down. We'll do that one more time. Big sweep, big circle. Lift the ribs and release. Great job. Thank you.